The former UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva has been forcibly removed by the UFC by UFC President Dana White, despite the fact that Anderson Silva still has one fight remaining on his UFC contract. Now, this doesn't come as much of a surprise when you consider the fact that Anderson Silva is about to turn 46 in just a few months, and he has lost 5 out of his last 6, and he has been knocked out in back-to-back fights. Now, this may explain why Bellator is not interested in signing him. It looks like this may be the end for Anderson Silva. Now, I think he made a mistake in his last fight by not officially calling his retirement. I think he should have went ahead and retired right then and there when he lost to Uriah Hall. During his post interview, it seemed like he was still kind of interested and still fighting, and it looked like he went around fishing for other organizations, Bellator for example, and they did not want to sign him. They didn't want anything to do with him because he is on his way out. He's 46. I mean, this is a young man's sport. Yes, he still moves well, and yes, he can still fight, but when you're talking about some of the best fighters in the world, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to have a 46-year-old in there, brawling it out with them. Look at Habib. Habib retired at the top of his game. That's something other fighters should try to do. Use Habib for example. Now, some people are saying Habib may come back for another fight, just to make it 30-0, but that's still up in the air. As of right now, Habib Nurmagomedov is retired. I really wish Anderson Silva would have done the same thing. I wish he would have retired when he was, at the top of his game. He has only won 1 fight out of his last 6. I mean, if that doesn't tell you to retire, I don't know what will. He just loves this sport so much. He's ready to fight until he's 50 if he could. He honestly would. I know he would. If UFC President Dana White said he could fight until he was 50, Anderson Silva would take him up on that offer. Sometimes I don't agree with UFC President Dana White, but this is something I do agree with him on. I think he did the right move by pretty much making Anderson Silva retire and not giving him an option. Maybe if he would have won his Uriah Hall fight, maybe. Just maybe he could have got maybe 1 more fight, but even then it's still pushing it. Why not go out on a win? Now he's going out on a loss, and now it's kind of embarrassing that he went to Bellator and Bellator told him no. And I wish I didn't have to make this video because I know we are all Anderson Silva fans. I definitely know I am. He's one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen step inside of an octagon, and that goes without saying. I mean, he's beaten, frankly, everyone. I mean, besides a couple people, Silva was at the top of the game. He was the man. He was the guy. He was the face of the sport at one point. But Father Time beats everyone, and Father Time is undefeated. I think maybe he should start doing some BJJ tournaments. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think he could get his dose of adrenaline or whatever you want to call it by doing that. I know it's not the same as stepping in an octagon, but still, you still get to be competitive. You still get to train, and you still get to have something to drive for, something to live for, because I know he wants to compete. Anderson Silva is a competitor, and I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon for Silva. I think that's going to be with him until he's a really old man. So once again, I think Habib really showed the blueprint. He went 29-0 and he retired at the top of the game. He's got more money than he knows what to do with. He's a legend. He's at the top of the game. It's the best time to retire, in my opinion. I know for Habib is a little bit different because he's still a young guy. He can still compete if he wanted to. He's got plenty of offers on the table. He's young. Silva, it's a little bit different. He's a lot older than Habib. He's taken a lot of damage in his fights. One thing about Habib, he has not taken that many damage. He doesn't take that many shots to the head. He is one usually dishing out the damage. Anderson Silva has been in some brawls. I mean, he's been in some crazy fights, where there's a lot of blood. And Silva is sometimes on the other end of receiving damage. It's not always him giving out damage. Sometimes it's him receiving damage. And eventually all that damage catches up with you. It may not have caught up with him just yet, but eventually all those head strikes catch up with you. You know, it affects your speech. It starts to affect your movement. You know, and the list goes on and on. So I think Dana White is truly sparing Anderson Silva right now, and you know, his physical well-being. So a good move on Dana White. I definitely agree with him on this decision. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That is right, Anderson Silva has been denied by Bellator. Leave your thoughts. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Check out some of our merchandise. The link to that will be down in the description below. Shop MMAclothing.com. If you're new to the channel, also please remember to subscribe to the channel. We release videos on a daily basis. Also, guys, please remember to like the video. I really appreciate that, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. This is the MMA Connect, signing off.